With brioche knitting, when I ask people what they would like to learn, the number one thing that got thrown out at me every single time was fixing brioche mistakes. Now, I think probably the reason for that is the brioche stitch is relatively complex, and so to actually go and fix mistakes takes a little bit of thought and some care. Sometimes if it's several rows back and if there's been some decreases and increases, you probably have to rip back and just actually work the rows again. However, if you've only gone a few rows down and there's just a mistake such as this in one of the columns, you can actually fix it as you're working and come back. So we're going to take a look at the basic construction and how you could go about fixing it. So if we're working along here, there's a couple of different mistakes that can happen. Let me undo this one here. I'm showing you in 2-color here simply because it's a little bit more visually obvious what we're doing. The very same thing is going to apply for 1-color brioche. You just need to watch for the yarn overs because obviously they're not going to be in a different color. So this one is a slip one yarn over, and the next one is meant to be a brioche knit. So if we come along and all you've got is the one stitch on here and you're going, oh my God, where's my yarn over gone? Take a look behind and you'll see that it's just dropped off the actual needle. So what you need to do is just pick up that yarn over and it's right back where it needs to be, and then you can go ahead and do your brioche knit. And then we'll work ahead onto here, and at this point we've come to one where there's a really obvious mistake. If this happens in single color brioche, it's going to be the same color, but it'll still be very obvious because these are kind of your knit columns running along here. And if one of them has gone a little bit off, what has actually happened in that case is you've got your yarn over has fallen to the wrong side. You can actually see here each of these yarn overs, they're kind of just sitting up behind each of the stitches as you're working. See, they're popped right back up here. So this yarn over should be sitting behind this one here. So we'll mark this off here as being the stitch that we want to have that yarn over behind. Now I'm going to have a couple of different things that we'll use. I've got a crochet hook. This one is just a double-ended one, but the standard crochet hook works fine. I've got a double-pointed needle to put some of the stitches on. If you've got some kind of a hooked needle, it works even better, but anything that you can put the stitches on is going to do the job. So first off, we're going to go pop that yarn over off. Let me move some of this yarn back so you can see what I'm doing. And then we're going to drop these down. When we drop them though, you see these yarn overs that are sitting behind, we're not going to move those because that will make it a little easier to pick up as we're going. So we're going to leave that one behind and pull the next one out here. Now this one, I'm going to go sit on my double pointed needle because I'll be picking that back up after the fact. Now I'm going to come on and take the next one out. Here we go, that's the next one here. Put that on again. Again, we're just taking those front stitches out because the yarn overs are sitting quite happily hooked behind. Then we're going to come to the next one here. So you can see this is a slow process that you need to take your time with. Pop that one out. Here we go, there's the next one. My yarn is splitting a little here. I'm going to pull that off because the yarn is split there, and we're going to pop that one on. Now this makes it nice and tidy because all of those ones that we picked up are sitting along here, and this is actually, we're pretty much at, we've got one more here. I'm going to unhook this one here and pop that final loop on here. Now, this is the one here that you can see that the loop is in the wrong place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, and now I'm going to pull with my crochet hook. I'll pop it on here, and I'm going to bring that through because you want this behind. See, it's sitting behind, so now it looks the exact same as all those other ones up along. And then we're just going to pick each of these stitches up here. I'm going to turn it sideways, and I'm going to grab the first one here. it's splitting a little on me. So there we go. And we pull this through. Next one. Pull it through. Again, being very splitty, but just take your time. Through. Next one. Through, and this one. Put it through. Now we're going to come back up, and remember originally this was sitting with its yarn over up on the needle. So you can see here that you've picked up that yarn over that was missing, so it looks the same all the way down. So it is a delicate operation. All you're trying to do is return that yarn over back to the other side. And you can obviously, if you really wanted to, you could pull those yarn overs coming down out as well, but there's no reason to. If you just pull the brioche stitches in the front, leave the yarn overs behind, it actually makes it a much simpler fix because you're trying to redo a lot less of the brioche knitting then.